Hello everyone, intuitive and astrologer Lisa Salvatore here to recap the second half of July with an emphasis on the Leo new moon taking place on July 24th. First and foremost, welcome to all of my new subscribers. It is lovely to have you here. Please be sure that you not only subscribe, but that you actually click that bell icon so that you are notified of uploads. Sometimes it seems like we're subscribed and we're actually not. So if you want to receive this content, continue to receive these insights, just make sure that you smash that bell icon and give a thumbs up, leave a comment. To those that have been with me before, welcome back as always. It is lovely to have you here. Before we get into it, you can find all of my information right at my website, lisasalvatore.com. You can find out all about the type of work that I do, how you can contact me, any events, readings, etc. If you missed the first half of July, that will be linked in the description box below. So you definitely want to check that out. It's often much more impactful to look back in order to look ahead. Today that I am recording this video, it is July 13th, and not only is the temperature heating up, but the skies are heating up. I hope you are all doing really well and taking good care of yourselves as best as you can. Uranus is now at 0 degrees of Gemini as of July 7th, so there is absolutely a quickening of the pace and yet feeling slowed down at the same time. We've got several planets retrograde. This invites us to really take a step inward in order to then take a step forward. Look at the second half of July as a gift for self-reflection and conscious creation. Saturn is now retrograde as of 12:03 a.m. Eastern Time today, July 13th, at 1 degree of Aries. Saturn retrograde is a time to really stop and reevaluate our time, reevaluate our commitments, our connections, our energy. Saturn rules over time and responsibility, hard work, structure, order, discipline. That's probably why I felt like I had to record today, Saturn station retrograde. Get it done. Most importantly, Saturn is about the foundations that we build upon, the foundations that we lay, and then the foundations that we build upon. So when Saturn is retrograde, we are asked, or actually we are invited to go inward and revisit our long-term goals, reevaluate our boundaries, reflect on where we may be over-functioning or under-committing, or both. It's a great time to ask, what am I building and is it aligned with my soul? Saturn is also the planet that represents karma. I mean, all of the planets, everything represents karma, but Saturn itself is the lord of karma. So the retrograde periods of Saturn will often stir up old karmic patterns, past life themes, ancestral patterns, lessons we thought were done that are now going to come back around for deeper, further healing. It's important to remember with Saturn that this is not about punishment, it's about refinement. I happen to like Saturn. I love Saturn. I refer to him as the misunderstood miser. In fact, please be sure to check out the Saturn videos on my channel, conversations that I've had with another astrologer, a friend of mine. Really, really insightful, and I think you'll find it very, very helpful, especially if you are struggling with anything related to Saturn or just want to know more about it. Definitely check that out. Saturn retrograde says, let's get it right this time. I don't think that's a bad thing. It's a great time for that inner authority check, especially as Saturn retrogrades at that first degree of Aries, the sign of the self, the individual, the warrior. It's time to take ownership of all of our decisions, to strengthen our emotional backbone and ask, am I living external expectations or am I living from my internal truth? So you may find yourself feeling much more inward, much more serious. If you have Saturn in Aries, you're at the very beginning of your Saturn return. And you may feel, everyone may feel the desire to really go inward, to feel and become more serious, or just call to spend more time alone. It's important to note that while Saturn is retrograde, people and or patterns will absolutely return from the past. Things will resurface. This is Saturn saying to you, are you ready to handle this differently now? Think about that at a deeper level as things come up, especially things that frustrate you or are set to delay you or to throw a wrench in your plans. Emotionally speaking, while Saturn's retrograde, Neptune's also retrograde as well. This is a very strong time where we can confront our fears, deal with issues surrounding self-doubt and or control. Saturn helps us to transmute all of that into strength, but we have to be aware of it. We have to own our you-know-what. We have to be mature enough, that's a key word for Saturn, to call ourselves out on our own BS, point blank. That's how Saturn works best for all of us. So how to work with Saturn retrograde? Slow down to realign. Journal on your boundaries, on your time, on your responsibilities. Check in with self. Check in with your progress. Schedule rest time, very important. Because remember, we are all doing a lot of deep internal work. Everybody is. If you work with gemstones, I highly suggest the grounding stones such as hematite, black tourmaline, obsidian, onyx, all of the grounding stones. And check in with yourself about your long-term vision and your long-term goals. Are they still supporting you? Are they still supporting who you are becoming? Although Saturn stations retrograde at 1 degree of Aries, Saturn will dip back into Pisces on September 1st. And when Saturn moves back into Pisces, back to the 29 degree of Pisces, the anaretic degree or the crisis degree, this is where the real soul work is. We're also entering eclipse season at this point. We'll talk about that more later on. You can also check out my 2025 forecast, linked in the description box below. But when Saturn moves back into Pisces, September 1st, we're revisiting old karmic threads. There is going to be like this strong in between the worlds feeling. It's as if we're floating in between the space of who we once were and who we are becoming. And I don't think that anybody can argue against that you're not feeling that. Okay, enough about Saturn. Let's move on to Mercury stationing retrograde. Mercury will station retrograde on July 18th at 15 degrees of Leo. Fiery, bold, creative, passionate, dramatic Leo. The sign of the heart. The sign of love, the sign of joy, the sign of connection, creation, consciousness. The sun rules the sign of Leo. We know when Mercury stations retrograde, we're dealing with issues around communication because Mercury rules over communication. Mercury rules over our mind, our lower mind, the way we process, the way that we receive information, the way that we express ourselves, the way that we communicate. So we will absolutely see a little bit of a slowdown here when it comes to communication, anything having to do with communication, technology, all of the usual Mercury shenanigans, Mercury retrograde shenanigans. And in Leo, communication can definitely feel a bit more theatrical, dramatic, potentially a little bit more misunderstood. But it's also a really beautiful invitation to rework our self-expression, to rework or revisit our creative visions, and most importantly, to really think about and work with how we express from the heart, communicate with truth, communicate with love, communicate with care. How do we speak from the heart? Do we speak from the heart? Do we filter that? This will all be coming up under this Mercury retrograde. Advice while Mercury moonwalks through the sign of Leo: watch your tone, protect your peace, and rewrite the script. Literally and energetically. And don't forget, most importantly, to have fun. Keep your sense of humor, laugh at yourself, connect to the inner child. Allow yourself to feel joy, laugh, have fun, create. Then on July 22nd, the sun enters Leo. Happy birthday to all of our Leo souls. We enter the season of love, of light, of warmth, of radiance, the season of creative fire. Strong reminder this Leo season, especially as Mercury's retrograde in Leo, we're all meant to shine. But first, we must move through the shadows that block the light. Then we get to the Leo new moon on July 24th. This new moon is intense, it's passionate, it's dramatic, it's creative, and deeply magical. Think big heart energy, bold beginnings. This is a portal to reclaiming your joy, your creativity, your inner fire. But it may come with emotional waves and flare-ups. Also, the need to step into the spotlight courageously in your own life, or to step into the spotlight of your own life. And we're going to go through the chart and the signs in a moment. I just want to mention that at the end of the month, Chiron, the wounded warrior, the wounded healer, also stations retrograde. Chiron will station retrograde at the 27th degree of Aries. And this is the time while Chiron is retrograde where we turn the healing inward. We are the healing balm. We are the medicine. While Chiron is retrograde, old wounds, especially around our identity, our independence, and our self-worth, our worth in general, may rise up to the surface for deeper acknowledgement and release. We've got a lot of other things going on through the end of the month. If you appreciate these insights and would like deeper insights, you can always become a soul scriber. The link is in the description box below to my membership subscription or my YouTube membership. That's where you'll get my detailed weekly forecasts, live streams, and other exclusive content. Before we get to the Leo new moon reading, a reminder for the remainder of July is to stay grounded, stay aligned, and stay tuned. I've got you covered. We'll walk through this next chapter together. Now, about that beautiful new moon in Leo that we have taking place on July 24th, 3:11 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 12:11 p.m. Pacific and 8:11 p.m. UK time. So obviously set the time zone for you accordingly. This new moon is loud and proud. It falls at the 2nd degree of Leo, so it's at the very beginning of the sign of bold, fiery, expressive Leo. Here's the new moon, 2 degrees and 8 minutes of Leo. So you're going to want to check your chart and identify where 2 degrees of Leo is. I have a video linked in the description box below. It's called You Have Every Sign in Your Birth Chart. Click on that. It will show you in more detail how to identify these transits and these energies in your chart if you don't know. But again, here's the new moon, 2 degrees and 8 minutes of Leo. We can see that Mercury's here at 13 degrees of Leo retrograde. This new moon is like, it brings in this light. It brings in this fiery energy of creation. It's about leading with love, authenticity. It's about our courage, our bravery, our strength. It's about being bold to say and do the things we need to do to move to where we would like to be. It's about following our hearts. That's what sets us free. While everyone will experience this new moon, it's going to be felt, or the most creative, I should say, the strongest for our fixed signs, Leo especially, Taurus, Aquarius, Scorpio. And even more strongly if you have any of your points or placements falling between 0 and 4 degrees of any of our fixed signs. Again, Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius. But make no mistake, everybody will benefit and experience the energy of this new moon. As this moon falls at 2 degrees of Leo, it falls in the first third of Leo, or the first decan. So it's roaring at us. It's roaring at us to take a chance, to have confidence, to have the courage, to have the strength, to do what we need to do. Rewrite those stories, rewrite those scripts. Allow your soul to set on fire, to give you that energy and that push towards your greatest radiance. The tarot card that's associated with the first decan of Leo is the 5 of Wands, otherwise known as the Lord of Strife. The good news is this is a minor arcana card. So we have some wiggle room here. We do have quite a bit of free will. 5s will always indicate change and fluctuating circumstances, but after the 5, we get to the 6, and that brings in balance and harmony. So there are definitely going to be themes of internal conflict, because let's face it, to have courage and to take leaps of faith will always bring a sense of internal conflict with it. Also stress, battling parts of ourselves. It could also bring forth a little bit of struggle and or competition within yourself, but also with others, because the shadow side of the Leo energy is the ego, going too much into the ego and moving away from soul, or being just too much into that ego in general when it comes to pride and or arrogance, competing with other people. You are you. There is no one like you. There is no copy of you. It's important to remember that, not to lose sight of that. Everyone shines differently, but everyone shines. Let us not forget that the tarot card that governs Leo is the sun, the giver of life and all that is. You can't find much negative to say about the sun, except for the fact that if we stand too close or spend too much time in it, we can get scorched. There's shade there too, right? If you work with gemstones, the ones that I have chosen for this new moon are all about creation and manifestation and abundance. Also the heart chakra and heart healing. They are fire agate, citrine, green tourmaline, and malachite. You don't have to use any of those, of course, just those are the 4 that resonated with me, that I felt resonated with this new moon. You can work with none, you can work with 1, or whichever stones of your choice. These are just the ones that I've chosen. Strongest aspect, the new moon is in an exact opposition to powerful Pluto, dredging up deep emotions, for better or worse, passionate, intense, driven. This is great for focus. This is great for projects. We just have to watch out for that shadowy side of the obsession or trying too hard to maintain control over a person or a situation. We want to watch out for that because the heat is on, and we can use that heat for purpose and for power. We just have to be cognizant. We have to be very mindful of the way we are using our power, our personal power, and make sure that we are using our personal power, as this new moon is encouraging that big time. So we've got this new moon in opposition to Pluto. We have Saturn and Neptune here, both retrograde, in a sextile to Pluto. Saturn and Neptune are also in an exact trine just about to this new moon, which is very lovely, very helpful. Intuition is heightened. The power of creation is so strong here. We are all being encouraged to move forward with our dreams, our hopes, our plans, our visions. This is a fabulous new moon for manifestation and or a vision board, so I wouldn't waste it. We have Venus over here at 22 degrees of Gemini, and Venus is in a square to Mars here at 21 of Virgo. So we've got the divine masculine Mars and then the divine feminine Venus. And Venus is more about where we're receptive, okay? Where Mars is more about how we're reactive or proactive. And they're in a square, which is a tense aspect. So I just feel that this could bring up some nervous tension in relationships regarding matters of the heart. And so as I'm saying this, I'm hearing the song by Meatloaf, Sleep on It. So before you pop off, remember Mercury's retrograde here. We really want to think about it because the heat is on. We're going to feel it. So just watch out for that. We also have Mars aligned with the South Node in Virgo, opposing the North Node in Pisces. This indicates a very strong fated feeling here to this new moon. Everything that is coming up around this new moon for us has a higher purpose. It always does, but I think it's just becoming much more obvious to all of us where we genuinely want and need to be and what we're willing to do to get there and what we need to do away with, what we need to release. Venus is also in a square. We have this T-square. We've got Venus here squaring the South Node and also squaring the North Node. So we've got a T-square of Venus to the nodes, which is just a very strong reminder that everything has implications. That which we say, that which we do not say, that which we do, that which we do not do. All of it has consequence, karma. That's what karma is. So remain open-minded if somebody approaches you and expresses themselves, especially if they're telling you that you hurt them and you don't see it that way, just remain open-minded. Uranus here at 0 degrees of Gemini is in a sextile to this new moon. Uranus is also trining Pluto and sextiling Saturn and Neptune. So we have the support of the outer planets in the background. This is really nice on the personal level anyway. It's really nice. Collectively speaking, it's not really helping the weather situation across the globe. That's for sure. Mother Nature is really speaking to us. Now I'd like to pull focus onto asteroid Sappho, S-A-P-P-H-O. Asteroid Sappho aligned here with Uranus. Uranus is at 0 degrees. Sappho was a renowned Greek poet, a lyric poet. She was known for her poetry, yes, but she was also known for she was particularly known for her same-sex exploration of love and desire from the female perspective. So this just further enhances the themes of creation, writing, poetry, love. But on a larger scale, I feel like this is a strong reminder to be who you are, regardless of what society thinks you should be, regardless of what your family thinks you should be. Be you, be who you are, be an individual, be your own person. Uranus is about breaking free and it's about being who you are, raw truth, revolution. And it's quite possible that around this new moon, there's going to be new bills being passed or new policies around same-sex situations, same-sex marriages, domestic partnerships, things of that nature. That would not be surprising. It might not be right at this new moon. It would probably be like 4 to 6 weeks after, but it could potentially happen around the new moon. With Sappho, it's about beauty and emotional depth with every fiber of our being, regardless of what that looks like for you. And we also have the new moon aligned with fixed star Talitha. Talitha falls in the constellation of Ursa Major on the front paw. That's the constellation of the Greater Bear. And this particular fixed star falls on the front paw of the Greater Bear. Now, Talitha means daughter of the assembly. The origin of Talitha actually lies in the origin of the Bible. When we're dealing with fixed star Talitha, we're really dealing with stories of healing and compassion. And it's just a reminder that oftentimes it is written in the stars, and that one must consider is the power in the stars as well. Metaphysically speaking, fixed star Talitha also corresponds with the number 5. And our tarot card for this new moon is the 5 of Wands. This could be where that fate and free will really comes in hot around this new moon. It's where a choice might be offered, and then there's like this fork in the road of your life that presents itself. It could be that one path is more negative where the other one is for your highest good, and you have to really trust your intuition to take you where you need to go. Now also, the stronger spiritual message contained in fixed star Talitha is, are you going to take the easy way out? So anyway, this fixed star is not really negative, nor is it positive. It's sort of like neutral, meaning basically that it is what you make of it. The energy is what you make of it. If no action is taken by you, that's where stagnation sets in. And then, of course, when we have stagnation setting in, we're bored. And then boredom makes us think to the future, which then leads to anxiety and depression. But we don't want to go down that road because this is a pretty positive new moon. Now, let's get to the signs. Always follow your rising sign for most accuracy. Of course, follow your sun sign as well. And you can even follow your moon if you know it. But I highly suggest that you follow your rising sign for most accuracy. Aries rising, this new moon is going to take place in your 5th house. The 5th house is the natural home of Leo. So this is going to be a very passionate, very creative, very positive energy for you. You can really benefit from this new moon. It's all about what you make of it, what you do with this energy. I feel like for a lot of the Aries rising, it's going to feel like you want to be much more in the woo than before. It's like you're really feeling the positivity that could be surrounding this new moon for you. You're not imagining it, it's the truth. This is all about creation. This is about reconnecting and reclaiming your radiance, your joy, your inner child healing. If you have children in your life, you could have some really wonderful moments with those children, any children connected to you. This is a great time for new hobbies, endeavors, reconnecting to your fire, reclaiming your sexual energy, new relationships, romance. It's a really nice new moon for you. Enjoy it. For Taurus, this new moon is taking place in your 4th house of home, emotional foundation, family, ancestry, family dynamics, family of choice, and family of origin. This is about going deep. It could feel emotional for you. It could feel also a little bit challenging for you or stressed, but that's a good thing because these emotions are what are going to lead to a breakthrough for you. Remember, we sometimes have to have that breakdown in order to have that breakthrough. This is still a very positive energy for you, but you have to remain in the vibration of faith, not of fear, the vibration of love, the vibration of joy. You have to try and keep yourself positive, even in the face of any adversity. You can still create some pretty beautiful magic around this new moon. This is great if you're looking to buy a new home, anything having to do with real estate, anything having to do with family, if you want to communicate, have some conversations, but just remember that it can be heated. So communicate kindly, compassionately, and consciously. Gemini, this new moon is taking place in your 3rd house of expression, communication. This is fabulous for you if you're doing any type of work around writing, a writing project. This is great for networking, for putting yourself out there, getting your face out there, getting your name out there. If you have, friends or colleagues or associates or anybody that can help you, talk to them. Use your natural gift of gab. You can find this new moon can lead to new beginnings for you in specific relationships. And this could be involving siblings, cousins, aunts, uncles, friends. And even more to that point, the way that you communicate with them. How often do you communicate with them? It's a powerful new moon for you for anything having to do with you expressing yourself, especially with your work. Cancer, this new moon takes place in your 2nd house of worth and finances. How do we connect to self? How are we taking care of our body? How are we taking care of our spirit? How are our relationships? What are the quality of our relationships? This new moon has the potential to bring in some powerful new beginnings, but not without your participation. Remember, you are holding the pen. You are consciously co-creating with spirit. Leo, this new moon is your new moon. It is beautiful, bold, powerful, courageous, creative. I love it. Have I said I love this new moon? I love it even more for you. It is lighting up your 1st house of self. It is all about you. The cameras are flashing. You're out in the spotlight, or at least you should be. Glow up central. Use the powers of this new moon to redirect the energy to where you want it to go, to where you know it needs to go. Create, create, create. Create from the heart, create with honesty and authenticity, and you cannot fail. Virgo, this new moon is taking place in your 12th house of behind the scenes life, the house of the unconscious. It could feel a little bit uncomfortable for you because your intuition is going to be really pronounced, which can be very positive. But the shadow side of that is it might freak you out a little bit. The synchronicities are coming in fast. South node's in your sign, so just remember that you're going to have it be very evident to you what might be holding you back from moving forward. So yes, new moons are always about new beginnings, but for you, my Virgos, this is going to be very strongly centered around releasing something, which could be just toxic patterns and behaviors or the way we self-sabotage, releasing those ties, those chains that keep us stuck and not living out into our light, not being the healers that we know we are and that we know we are meant to be. Step out of the shadows. Libra, this new moon is taking place in your 11th house. This is a fabulous energy for you. Anything having to do with friendships, groups that you're a part of. The 11th house does speak to our hopes, our dreams, our aspirations, our vision, our long-term goals and plans. So this new moon is so supportive of that in general, because it's also pulling focus onto that area of the chart for you. It's a double emphasis on that. Explore something new with friends. Create that online community you've been wanting to create, or the community that you've been wanting to create. The pen is in your hand. What will you do with it? Don't let that ink dry before you get to write the next chapter. Scorpio. This new moon is taking place in your 10th house of public life. It's your career if you have one, your vocation if you have one, your face out in the world, who you are out in the world, what you are known for. And more than that, it's about what you would like to be known for. You could feel a little bit of stress or tension or pressure around the work-home life balance. And this will just give you a stronger indication of where you need to put the work. And speaking of work, this is a fabulous new moon for you if you're looking for a new job or new opportunities to get your face out there. Networking is your friend. Utilize the strong energy of creation around this new moon to create what it is that you desire. Sagittarius, this new moon is taking place in your 9th house, which is the natural domain for Sagittarius. This is a very expansive new moon for you. It's extremely fiery. It's extremely creative. The world is your oyster. Now is the time to go and enroll in that class you've been wanting to enroll in. Travel to that country you've been wanting to travel to. Go on that solo spiritual retreat. Expand, expand, expand. This is a wonderful new moon for you. This is also great for anything having to do with writing, publishing, podcasting, putting yourself out to a wider database. So manifest away. Capricorn, this new moon is taking place in your 8th house. This is the house of intimacy and intimate matters. This is the house of our resources, our finances, especially those resources and finances that we hold with others, joint finances. This is debts and loans and taxes. This is also inheritances. And this doesn't have to be literal. And in fact, I think for many of you, this is going to focus more on the karmic kind, the karmic inheritances that we have and that we hold. So family dynamics could feature very strongly for you. And this is a powerful time for new beginnings in these areas, taking back your power and recognizing that you've had it all along. Aquarius, this new moon is taking place in your 7th house of the others in your life, of all of your relationships, your contacts, your communications, and your connections. Very powerful for new beginnings. Strong positive energy around partnerships of any kind, as long as you're living out in your truth. And last but certainly not least, Pisces. This new moon takes place in your 6th house and is a fabulous energy for setting new habits that support the bigger picture for you, for your everyday reality, for your healing, mind, body, spirit. This is also a great time for you to move into a different form of service. If you are someone who's in a healing profession or would like to be, this is a great new moon to put your energy toward that. Bold new beginnings. Step out into the spotlight. And don't be afraid to shine. There you have all 12 signs. Happy new moon. Don't forget to set some intentions. I hope that this was helpful. Again, you can find all of my information in the description box below or by visiting lisasalvatore.com. And if you'd like more information on how my memberships and subscriptions work, just take a listen right here. Hello, everyone. Warm wishes for a happy and healthy 2025. I am so excited to be here with all of you, all of my beautiful subscribers, and to continue to put out supportive content. I will continue to give you astrological and intuitive updates. My channel will not be changing. I will be doing new moon and full moon readings, along with some insights through the signs, monthly astrological and energetic updates, astrology updates overall, and some more how-to videos, readings on current events, etc. None of that will change. That will all still be here on my channel, but I am excited to roll out a few new options for 2025. Here on YouTube, I now have a membership. That membership is $7.99 a month. You do not have to join the membership, but you can if you want to. And what that membership encompasses is obviously all of the general free content that is out there and will continue to be out there, but with more exclusive content. So every Sunday, I go live and I give the astrological and energetic forecast for the upcoming week. And we have some spiritual chit chat there. There's a live chat. Now that is going to be sent to you with the YouTube membership by recording. If you wanted to be a part of the live stream, I have another subscription, which is based on Substack, which is where I have my newsletter and where I am the most interactive. And that will also be linked in the description box below if you're interested in that. But the Substack membership is $10 a month, okay, to be transparent, or $100 per year. And every Sunday, I do go live and I give the astrological and energetic update and forecast. And it's, like I said, it's interactive and I answer questions. And then monthly, I do a live Zoom where I go into more details for each month, readings through the signs. And in those monthly lives, there's also the opportunity to be read, both astrologically and psychically, combination of the two. That is with my Substack subscription. That is with my newsletter subscription, to be clear. The YouTube subscription, the one that is $7.99 a month, you will get the recordings of everything that I do on my Substack newsletter. To join the YouTube subscription, all you have to do is go right to my homepage and just click join. And once again, thank you to all of my amazing subscribers. I'm so thankful and grateful to each and every one of you. I'm also grateful that I get to provide this content, and I really hope that it supports you on your spiritual journey.